Hello, everybody. I am Lydia, and today I just want to talk about healing your inner child. And while doing so, I'm going to be holding this, okay? Because this is kind of the irony sometimes, okay, of life, but also of filming videos, because I was gonna film this video and I was like, you know what? I was making a video a minute ago where I was using this as like a pointer, and I forgot how much fun it is to do this. And I was like, I really want to do that, but there's no point in this video, so maybe I should not, no point in this video, so maybe I should just not bring this over here, because that doesn't make any sense of why I would have this in my hands right in this video. It doesn't make any sense, literally. It's just me talking with this in my hand. And the thing is like, since this video is about healing your inner child, it kind of dawned on me for a second of like, hey, Lydia, if I want to do this, and it reminds me of like having fun as a kid, why don't I practice what I preach? Why don't I actually do this? Because this is fun. And isn't that the whole point of healing your inner child? Maybe not the whole point, but it's a big point of healing your inner child, is to have fun. So that's what I'm doing. And if you think that that's really annoying, like you find this type of, sorry, the camera's way off for me, so if I'm sorry, that made me really laugh. I can't get it correct to point at you, apparently. There. If that annoys you, then I'm sorry, this video is not for you. Because I just really want to do this today while I talk about healing my inner child. And a little bit about my childhood, not too much, but a little bit, and just sort of where I am as an adult trying to heal that part of me. Yeah, so let's dive into it. I, as a kid, was always that kind of kid who followed the rules, and I was like a little bit more on the shy side, except for at home, but like in school, I was always on the shy side. I was always the one who followed the rules as best as I could, and as I got older, well, no, I think I was always told this. Everybody has always told me I'm so mature for my age. I'm so mature. Oh, look at her. She's so mature for her age. Humble brag, I know, but not really at all. It's really not a humble brag. That's just the life I lived. And I also was afraid of a lot of things. Like, afraid to try new things, I was afraid and I was petrified. No, but I really was I lived my life kind of not trying new things, not really being adventurous like a lot of kids are. Like, I was never that kid to go up and climb a tree, like never. You know? And I think that that's like a whole other thing that I probably can get into about like, you know, how others treated me growing up, and bullying and all of that sort of thing. But to keep it short, that's kind of how it was. I just was very shy and very afraid of everything. And I was always that kid that, like, if somebody was out here with their Swiss Army knife, I was like, great. Like, we got one of those kids on our hands. Like, don't slip and cut yourself, buddy, okay? Because, like, I wasn't that kid, like, hey, give me, like, I want to try, like, give me a turn. Like, no. Like, I'm like, great, let me go, like, hide behind the teacher because I don't trust you with a knife. You know? Or, like, there were so many kids growing up who would take apart their mechanical pencils, right? And try to put them back together, or take apart their pencil sharpener and like play with it and all that kind of stuff. And I was not that kid. I was like, if something broke, I was devastated. If my mechanical pencil broke, a little bit of a tongue twister. I hated that, and it really kind of affected me, because I was like, oh, that thing that worked so well is never going to work the same again. Like, I always had that mindset too, which I've talked in the past a little bit about that on this channel, actually, and about how the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and toxic mold helped me out of that mindset of like things being broken means that they're broken forever and they're never going to be as good as they were before. I also did some kintsugi a couple years ago. Here's my kintsugi mug. That helps remind me that that's not true, even though for my entire life I felt that way. But it holds my paintbrushes. Okay, so kintsugi. Look into that. So if you ever break a mug, a plate, whatever, you can do this sort of thing. Okay? It makes it pretty and useful again, and it just, the mending of it kind of reminds you that that's not true, that things can be brought back to life and even have maybe a different life, and that's not bad to have things used in a different way. Reuse is not a negative thing. Like I once thought. I thought that my whole life. I thought that reusing something is sort of just a last-ditch effort at using the last bits that you can of something that is broken and essentially useless. And I was also a person who loved everything clean, everything. I mean, I liked antiques, but I liked like very well taken care of antiques, you know what I mean? I wasn't into the weathered sort of things. But then again, all of that too kind of coincided with my OCD too, where I have dealt with that over my years of living, OCD and being sort of a clean freak, so it connects to that too. But all in all, that kind of connects also to what we're talking about today, which is healing your inner child, allowing yourself to break things, to make a mess, to have fun, and even in just being okay with the consequences of it, or being okay with maybe not even thinking about the consequences of it, Oh gosh, that was something very hard for me to learn, and I still have to remind myself of that a lot, that sometimes it's okay to just do things and not be afraid of the consequences, because I think a lot of the times as children we're taught that is awful, that is like a terrible thing to do, that's selfish even in a lot of ways, to do something and not care about the consequences. And it's not really about not caring about other people, but maybe not finding a broken vase or a broken mechanical pencil as this big deal. Maybe that consequence really isn't as bad because I had fun along the way. Sorry, my dog just walked in. I gotta let her up here. Hey, you gonna come up here? Just a moment. Come here, baby. Oh, there you go. And that, my friends, is Sophie. She is my dog. She's my great dog. Aren't ya? my companion. So that is sort of the premise of today's video, is that. And 10 minutes in explaining the premise of the video. It's kind of funny. But that was a big learning curve for me, is learning that that's okay. And maybe for a lot of you out there, that wasn't something that you had to learn. I think a lot of kids have had that experience where it's actually okay. Like they understand that it's okay to make a mess, or they maybe never had that fear in them, you know, that they were okay taking things apart and climbing trees and getting a scraped knee. For me, like, man, a scraped knee was a bad day. You know, I mean, I didn't make it a bad day for, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I made it a bad day, but it was like, if I scraped my knee, like, my heart was broken. You know what I mean? And even if I didn't make it a big deal all day, it was a big deal inside. And for the next week, I would have this scraped knee that hurt, and that was a big deal to me. Whereas, like, other people, it's like, oh, big deal, you know, you scrape your knee, you get back up, and you know, you go back on your rollerblades, and it's fine. And that was just not the case for me. I don't know why, but the physical world was a bit of a challenge. And to me, in terms of all of the elements, or maybe the elements are the wrong word here, but in terms of spirituality, emotions, like logic, and the physical world is definitely my weakest of the bunch, that I'm still trying to work with, you know? I'm trying to build up that understanding of this plane, you know? But onward. The thing that I've learned too with making mistakes, making a mess, is that sometimes we have to allow ourselves to do things that we as children felt that we weren't allowed to do, or finding curiosity in things that maybe we didn't find interesting as a child. You know, as I've tapped into my inner child, I've noticed for me that I've become more interested in, like, more rugged, more masculine activities. You know what I mean? I don't know where it is, but I have like a Swiss Army knife, and that like is kind of a big deal for me, because growing up I used to kind of be like, what is with these kids with their Swiss Army knives? Why are they carrying that around? And like, why would you care about that? But as I've tapped into my own inner child, I found them kind of fun. Like, yeah, it's got everything on it. It's got a knife, and you can just have a utensil on you at any point. And it's kind of, there's something kind of fun about it. And I don't know, you can carve stuff. You know what I mean? It's actually been kind of fun. Yeah. But my mindset had to change in order to even feel that way at all, because before, I don't think I even found any appeal in that. And I think a big part of that mindset that changed for me was that I valued, like I said, newness and all of that. And when I saw the ugly sides of newness and always having a utensil on you, and like that sort of lifestyle where you never live in lack, when I've seen the ugly side of wanting to achieve that and striving for that, it made me start to appreciate the other side of things, where you are being resourceful and using this other part of your brain to think of how to do things in a different way. Yeah, and so now I start to appreciate Swiss Army knives and, Even like, I used to watch a lot of camping videos, like camping videos where people are like hardcore camping, winter camping, building quinzees. I think that's what they're called, when they build pretty much like kind of an igloo sort of a structure in the snow. Hot tent camping. I mean, all that stuff is great. Like, I find it very interesting now. Whereas before, I'd be like, well, why can't you just glamp? Like, you know what I mean? But you know, it took a switch in mindset. With that, I also have been going back into all the things that I used to like when I was a kid. Like plush toys. Okay, I regret so much that when I moved up here, I got rid of all my Webkinz. I got just about all of them. I have one more. Where is she? I've shown her in a video. I think I showed her in like 2 videos ago. She's a doll. Not literally, but she's cute. Okay, so I'll just bring them all over, right? Okay, I'll bring them all over. What? Show and tell. Oh my gosh. And even this right here is sort of me tapping into my inner child, because when do we get to do show and tell with anybody anymore? You know what I mean? Never. Sorry, adjusting the camera. I don't edit around here, okay? I don't edit, if you haven't noticed. Okay, I'm guessing that's gonna be it. I don't know. We'll just play it by ear. Anyway. So, yeah, that's good. What I've got here, okay, this is the only Webkinz I kept. And I'm mad about it because I was a Webkinz kid. I played online a lot. And I had a lot of them. It was like every birthday I was like, get me Webkinz. You know what I mean? Get me Webkinz, get me 2 Webkinz even. Come on, make my day. You know what I mean? And I loved them so much. And I had a million. And I wished that I had kept them. But at the time, I was not tapped into my inner child. This was before all of that. I was like, it's time to be an adult. Why am I carrying like a pile, like, and I mean a big pile of Webkinz around? You know, and it made me sad. Now, I'm really sad about it because I loved Webkinz then, and I love them now. I kept the sheep because she literally is a Valley Black-nosed sheep. I don't know what she's like called on the Webkinz like site or whatever. So this is my sheep. One of one, Webkinz circa 2005, question mark? Just like a, I don't know, beauty influencer, if you didn't get that, I don't know. That was my attempt at being a Webkinz beauty vlogger? I don't know. Anyway. But she's essentially a Valley Black-nosed sheep. I know she's not called that on like the Webkinz thing. I don't know what she's called. Just sheep. Yep, she's just called sheep. But it's kind of funny because like we always see these sheep, right, with the black faces and the white. But the only sheep that I'm aware of that really have that, maybe I'm wrong, but the only sheep that have that are the Valley Black-nosed sheep, I think. And those are my favorite sheep. Like I can't wait to have one day because I am just in love with them. So I kept her, and she is cute. Growing up, I named her Sleepy, and I guess that shall remain her name. I do kind of call her maybe Sleepy Sally. I called her Sleepy growing up because I thought it was so funny that it was like a play on counting sheep. You know, I was that kid when I named my animals. Like I was like trying to be kind of clever. Anyway, but since then, is this all I have? I think that's all I have of them. Since then, I've bought in my adult years with adult money. I have bought a moose. His name's Molasses, the moose. He's cute. Come on. I mean, come on. Because I love moose. I do. Ooh, he's a little hairy, okay? So I'm sorry if you caught that on camera. Just like up close on the truths of owning a dog. Anyway, my other one is a reindeer. Because reindeer are one of my favorite animals. And they eat lichen. Reindeer eat lichen. I learned that kind of recently, and it just made me love them even more because I love lichen. I love moss and I love lichen. So that's him. I actually forgot what I named him. Everest? Maybe Everest. Like Mount Everest, you know? Anyway, that's fun. I'm ashamed. I don't like that these are in camera right now because these are my gatekeep. But I'll get into them in a second. So Webkinz, you know, I have them, and I just really, I went through a lot of trauma in 2019, 2020. I know the world was crazy, but ironically, the way the world was crazy rarely affected me because of how crazy my life was in every other aspect. It was rough. And in that time, I was like, I'm just craving. I'm like craving with all of my heart to just delve into playfulness and childlike wonder and joy. And I think around that time, I started seeing videos about tapping into your inner child. And so I was like, okay, I guess this is meant to be. I guess I'm meant to do this. And so I started out, I believe I started out playing Webkinz online, if I'm not mistaken. And that might not even been the first game I played. I might have played Toontown first. I could go on and on and on about the games. What am I doing with? I have this on and on and on about the games that I played growing up because it's interesting because like I wouldn't say that I grew up online, okay? Even though I'm on the cusp of Gen Z and millennial, okay? So a lot of Gen Z grew up online. I wouldn't say that I grew up online per se because I didn't have a computer or any internet or phone or anything like that really at home. Like we had a literal cell phone with the cord for a long time. And then we started having the cool phones. Okay, we started having them as I grew up into my teen years. The Sidekick. You remember those? Those were really cool. Those were pretty cool. Lime green Sidekick. Look it up. I believe that's what it's called. Anyway, so I didn't grow up with technology really, but then I lived right next to my grandparents who had all the tech. They had all the tech, and so I would go over there, and me and my sister would be gaming on our little Toontown. Gosh, I love Toontown. I love Toontown. And so we played that a lot then, and so now as an adult, I was like, okay, I want to play these games. Let me play these games, and so I did. I played Toontown, and that was so fun because even though it shut down, you can still play it online. It's like Toontown rewritten, I think. And I did play some of the Club Penguins before they got shut down and then revamped and then shut down and then revamped. I don't know. I played those. They were fun. And then I also played Webkinz online, and I can't believe how much joy that brought me. Especially, like, it's interesting because, like, you play it as a kid right? And as a kid, you kind of play it with a certain mindset. Like you're a kid, you look at it with your kid eyes, and now as an adult, you kind of look at it in a different light, where you're like, wait, like I can make these rooms cute. Like I can like, you know what I mean? I can even strategize a little bit, you know what I mean? But it's like in a fun way. So I did a lot of that, and that was really a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Since then, that laptop broke, and I had to get a new one. And guess what? The new one doesn't hold a lot of whatever it requires to play games. I'm not a techie girl, so I don't know what that is. I don't know. The lady the lady at the Walmart or wherever we bought it, said you can't play a whole lot of games on there. So that was a bummer, and I haven't played them since, and that broke my heart a little bit. Okay, but irregardless, I bought Webkinz. You know what I mean? Like, I know you don't, I believe you don't have to buy a Webkinz. You can just play it with, you can just play it now or something. I don't know. But I bought them because I was like, I'm going to be into Webkinz. I'm not just going to be a casual player. I'm going to be into Webkinz. And then I like did some trading. Don't worry, I'm fair. I'm fair when I do trading on Webkinz. Okay. I'm not trying to scam nobody. Okay. But I did a lot of trading for like rare items. I was getting into it. It was a lot of fun. That too is another aspect that, like, when you're a kid, like when I was a kid, I didn't do any trading. Maybe some people did out there, but I didn't do any trading when I was a kid because like that was like, that seemed scary. 1, 2, I don't even know if they had it for most of my childhood. But yeah, you can trade with like other players, and of course it's like safe chat. You can't like say, you can't be like, there's no creepy people. So, you know, you just trade for whatever item, and you kind of can be like, does this seem fair? Does this not seem fair? I don't want to trade with you. Goodbye. Because there are rare items in the game. And so that was a lot of fun, like seeing what I could trade for what, and I don't know. It was kind of cool. So I did a little bit of that. Yeah. What else? I also realized that as I started becoming more interested in like gadgety things, like for some reason I bought like a saw. I bought a saw in 2020 or 2019. I don't know why, but I was interested in collecting wood and stuff like that on my hikes. So in that era of my Swiss Army knife days, I still have it. I don't know where it is in this house. Okay, it's somewhere. But I began being interested in like, I don't want to say action figures, but like, I'll show you. Okay? Got it over here. Like this type of thing. This is, stop. This is Daisy Duck flying around Epcot. I think someone probably got this as a McDonald's toy, I'm guessing. But she's fun. And as a kid, okay, I found this, okay? As a kid, I would have hated this. I would have hated this toy. Like if I would have gotten this from a McDonald's or something, because even as a kid, I was more of a plush toy kind of a girl. I didn't mind a Barbie, but I was more of a plush girl. As you can imagine with all of my Webkinz. But, okay. It's so fun. This is addicting. She flies around and you just kind of go like this and she flies. And I, as a kid, would have hated this kind of a toy, but it's kind of interesting how like when you tap into your inner child, the things that even as a kid you might not have liked or felt were uncomfortable or restricted to you, you sort of are like, actually I enjoy that and I'm allowed to enjoy that. I'm allowed to enjoy this. I'm allowed to be like, yeah, this is a great fidget toy. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome. During this time, me just showing you the toys around my room, it's kind of great. Is it not? It's kind of great. What else? I think I'm gonna get closer to the camera for this one. My dog's so cute, dude. She's so cute. Okay. Anyway, move my art stuff. What was I saying here? What was I saying? Oh. During this time, I also had a little bit of another obsession. Okay? A little bit. Okay. My other obsession was Littlest Pet Shop. I was obsessed with them. I still love them. I think they're great. I had a lot of Littlest Pet Shops as a kid too. And I had like a whole like play set and everything. I don't know what happened to them. But when I was starting to tap into my inner child, another thing that I was also dealing with at the same time was a lot of anxiety. Especially since a lot of the trauma I had been going through during that time. And so it was hard for me to even go into stores a lot without feeling like a panic attack, truly. And what would help me sometimes is to fidget with something in my pocket. So I just looked for things that were pocket sized that I could carry around with me. And I remembered as a kid that my favorite Littlest Pet Shop was this like green iguana, and he had brown eyes, because there's a couple green iguanas, so if you know, you know. He had brown eyes, and he was all green. He was really cute, and it's weird because I had a lot of cute Littlest Pet Shops, right? But that one was my favorite specifically because its tail was kind of curved, and there was just something really addicting to the way he was shaped to hold. And so that's why he ended up being my favorite. But when I was looking for Littlest Pet Shops to buy, at first I was like, let me go buy that one. Let me buy that one and just really let my childhood, you know, come back to me in a way. But I was also obsessed with like the color combination of teal and orange, and I found an iguana that was teal and orange. He looked exactly like the one I had growing up, but he's teal and orange. Come on, how cool is that? Okay, don't focus on me, focus on the iguana. Yeah, I mean, he's got these like cool like green feet. Come on, and see the curvature in his tail? It's so good to like grip onto. You just want to grip it, and like the fins are great, or the scales. And then around that same time, I was also like, oh, I'm obsessed with orange. I'm obsessed with teal, them as a combo. They're so good. And then I was also watching a lot of sunsets during that time, and a lot of them were that peachy color. And I was like, oh, maybe peach is also really a good color. And I found another one that was peach. She's peach with like green and blue. And I don't know. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get these two. Very cute, very cute. I just loved it. I loved those two. And I had to get them. I mean, and so I did. And they definitely fulfilled what I needed them to, because I would hold them in my pockets and like, because they're a bobblehead too. Like, that's the whole thing of Littlest Pet Shops, is that they're these bobbleheads who typically have a magnet, but for some reason, out of all the Littlest Pet Shops that I've bought, all of them are missing magnets except for one. So this one's missing a magnet, so is the other one. So whatever. Don't love. But maybe that's common for Littlest Pet Shops to lose their magnets. It must be. But their heads bobble. And so something about the texture of that, the head bobbling, the scales, all of that, it was pretty satisfying to hold these in my pockets while I was in a store. And I still do sometimes, and bring them along with me. And then I saw, wow, no, I shouldn't say that. Okay. Then I was on this Littlest Pet Shop kick. I had those two, and I was like, wow, there are so many here. I'm obsessed with them. There's just a whole selection of them. I still want the woodpecker. It looks so cute. But one day. Anyway, during that time, I was also trying to get over my fear of spiders, because I've had a lifelong fear of spiders. And I hate that because I also, like, my heart loves every animal and tries to respect every animal, and I would like to live peacefully coexisting with maybe a little spider in my house sometimes, you know? At that point, it was really getting frustrating, and my nervous system was at a 10 most days, and so, you know, it truly sent me into like a fight or flight shocked state every time I would see a spider. And you know, when you live in a place that spiders roam kind of freely, it's like, I mean, you're gonna see one, especially in the summers, you're gonna see one frequently. And it's like to have this sort of like, am I gonna be scared today? Am I gonna be out of my mind shaking scared today, or am I not, is kind of like an awful way to live. And it's kind of funny, like, this is how far my fear of spiders went. Okay, because even fake spiders sent a fight or flight within me. I used to play Minecraft for a while. This was even before this whole inner child healing. You know, I used to play Minecraft for a while, and the spiders in the game, even their sound, I was like, oh, like I can't, like this is actually kind of making my heart race, and I'm kind of scared, like, and I would like play with other people and like just kind of be like, I don't know, like, okay, kill it for me, because I literally can't even look at my screen right now. And it's like, that's pretty bad when like a spider that only vaguely resembles a spider is sending you into fight or flight. You know what I mean? Kind of rough. And so a big part of my healing with that was watching jumping spider videos, because they, oddly enough, they're very cute, but to me, anytime I saw a jumping spider, it looked like the moon. It looked the size of Jupiter. Like, it was huge. And that they scared me somehow the most when I would see them in real life. But then there's some sort of cute aspect to them that sort of helped me heal that. Like, okay, they're terrifying, but there's also something kind of cute about them. And so I was able to watch videos on them and kind of heal that. But another aspect of that was like, okay, like, she kind of freaks me out, but I don't want to be freaked out by her. Let's just get her. And here she is. Here she is in all of her shining glory. And she's got a cute little pink bow. She's the only one with a magnet. She has these cute little flowers. And her eyes are made of glass, okay? Which is like, what? I didn't even know Littlest Pet Shops had eyes made of glass sometimes, because all the ones I've ever known were all completely plastic. But so getting her was sort of a symbol to me of like, I am over my fear of spiders. I'm over it. Like, so much so that I carry one in my pocket, you know? And I love her. Her name's Ophelia. She's so cute. But yeah, so that was that. I got her, and that really did help me, because like, it was a symbol to me, and it was also like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, you saw how cute, like how like adorable and cute and like little this is. I'm not even kidding you, because she has the legs, and my brain subconsciously knows that's a spider. That's supposed to be a spider. I'm not even kidding you. This is like, ooh, ooh, ew, ew, in my brain. Not now, but it used to be. But she's also cute, so it kind of helped me be like, oh, see, it's not that bad. And now I'm friends with spiders. Now I can watch spiders. Now if I see a jumping spider in my house, I watch it or try to feed it or let it just wander around and just admire it. And that's pretty spectacular. So healing your inner child, it might connect to a whole bunch of other things. Because it was weird. I was just looking online for Littlest Pet Shops, and then she came up, and I was like, this is so weird that I'm also going through this other massively like difficult thing right now where I'm afraid of spiders and I'm trying to get over them, and I feel like I'm almost over that ledge of like I'm almost over it. And it was like, now I am, and this is like my declaration that I am not afraid anymore. I am not afraid. There's nothing to fear. Lastly, I also saw this one and I just was like, I have to have her because for some reason, cartoon alligators are very cute to me. So she's cute. Anyway, me just showing off my collection, but it's been a lot of fun tapping into my inner child. And if you don't have the means to buy things, don't worry, because when I was really in the beginning of healing my inner child, I had no money to buy anything, like zero zip. I just had to watch videos of like, I don't even know, of like people painting Littlest Pet Shops. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of interesting because it's like, okay, so like I don't have the money to buy any. And even though they're just a couple dollars, like that's how broke I was. It's like I didn't have a single penny, sometimes less than. And I just was like, okay, let's just watch people paint Littlest Pet Shops and turn them into cool stuff, because that's a whole niche on YouTube apparently. Before they released an axolotl Littlest Pet Shop, which I am dying to have, she, you know, or people would paint other axolotls to look like, they would paint other Littlest Pet Shops to look like axolotls, and I loved that. Or who knows, they would make a whole bunch of different stuff. Like they would use a base like this and then like cover it in white and then add to it or paint it or do whatever they want. It was really cool. And I would watch, like I said, camping videos. And before I had Animal Crossing, that's another thing. Animal Crossing has been huge in healing my inner child. I love that game. It's just so adorable, you know, and it really scratches that itch in my brain that wants to have that, like, that fun play online, you know. And before I had that, I would watch people play Animal Crossing. I know that sounds a little silly, especially to other, you know, adults who haven't done this yet. It's like, really, am I gonna watch somebody play a game? And it's like, yeah, I mean, why not? You get to watch them experience this thing and kind of look at it through their eyes, and you can kind of imagine too, you know, why not? And that was a lot of fun, actually. You know, you find your creator, a creator who you like and who has a good personality, and it's kind of fun. But yeah, and I think the core of this is just to really do whatever the heck you feel inclined to do, and not denying yourself of these urges. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, don't deny yourself of these urges. Like, have complete fun with it. Watch movies that you watched as a kid alone, even if they're the really silly ones. Like, I'm not really a movie watcher, but like, I watched the Barbie movies a lot as a kid, and like, would I watch them as an adult if I wanted to? Heck yeah. Yeah. They were really silly, but I kind of love them. You know what I mean? Barbie Princess and the Pauper is the best. Sorry, not sorry, but it is. It's my fave. So it's a lot of that. It's a lot of finding new joy. And not criticizing yourself for looking silly as well. Because it's like, you know, sure, I found this, and I easily could have just been like, oh, okay, like I'll just leave it there, or I'll just, you know, throw it out. And then doing this, being like, oh, that was fun once, but like, it feels amazing to do this, to be like, you know what I mean? And if I want to do that, if I want to carry this around in a grocery store with me and do this, do it. Literally do it. And I live in a small town, okay? People, you know, people might remember me. They might next time see me and go, ha ha. I'm just kidding. But they might like literally be like, what? Like, why is that girl weird? You know, but this is fun. And you know, maybe they should tap into their inner child too. You know what I mean? Last but not least, I've gotten into art. That's not really what I wanted to say, but I'm trying to like see if there's anything else I should say before I get into the thing that I've been gatekeeping. For example, I had this troll doll for a long time. I'm so mad that I got rid of the other troll dolls I had, because I actually had a lot of them. But she's fun. You know what I mean? She's fun. So, you know, maybe this will inspire you to go get yourself a troll doll, or like, if you see a toy at the side of the road, pick it up and be like, why not? Why can't I take that? Like, for example, Miss Piggy, who is supposed to be riding a motorcycle. Correction, baby Miss Piggy. Baby Muppets Miss Piggy. She's supposed to be riding a motorcycle. She is not, and she is filthy. Found that, and I had to take her home. I don't know what I could make her sit on, but you know, for now, she's missing her bike, and that's okay. But there's a lot of things that, like, as a kid, maybe I wouldn't have liked. Like, as a kid, I probably would have been like, okay, I don't even care for that. But as an adult, I'm even learning how to enjoy the things that I didn't even enjoy as a kid. And almost finding new childhood, in a way, as an adult. You know what I mean? Like, okay, as an adult, or as a kid, I didn't find that fun, but I found this fun. As an adult, what do I find fun? Finding your inner child can be all of these things. And it's really just listening to yourself. I've got a lot of different stuff in this room, and it's a lot of fun. Or even, you know, oh, I also bought a Bop It. An old Bop It. That was fun. That also helped me because, like I said, the physical world is very weird to me, like very hard to manage. And so that kind of helped me maneuver through the physical world. Also, find something. I have a little Totoro here. Find something the size of a ball-ish, or not. I don't care. Toss it up and down. You know what I mean? Have fun. Have a good time. Because that is also something as a kid, like, sometimes I would do to calm myself, but then I was like, oh, I hate this, actually. You know what I mean? Because I also had a fear of getting hit in the face. You know? A lot of dodgeball fear. But as an adult, I still have dodgeball fear, but I am getting over it. I'm getting over it, and I'm experiencing what it's like to throw something in the air and catch it. Again. You know, if you have a buddy, play catch with them. Play catch with them. Because people aren't doing that enough anymore. And that even releases that childhood, you know? Last but not least, the thing that I've been gatekeeping at mark, 50, is nosy bears. Nosy bears were not a part of my childhood, okay? They were a little bit before me. but I used to watch the Jenna and Julian podcast, okay? Jenna Marbles podcast with her boyfriend Julian Solomita back in the day before she left YouTube. And on the podcast, they would talk about childhood memories sometimes. And Jenna had mentioned that she used to play with Popples and Nosy Bears. Okay. I'm gatekeeping them, but hopefully my little niche audience here will be kind enough to leave some on the market for me, okay? Because I have a goal, I have a dream to collect a bunch of Nosy Bears, because these are my actual true to my core obsession. All the other stuff has been great and it's fulfilled that childhood need in me. These are my obsession. Okay? They aren't even from my childhood. I already love Care Bears, okay? Care Bears are great. Bedtime Bear, I've always had a special connection to. I love Lots of Love Bear. I love Hugs and Tugs Bears. They're so good. They're so cute. But Nosy Bears are my fave. And they're not even connected to Care Bears. They're just these bears. They never had a TV show. They're these bears that have noses that have fun things going on in them when you press their stomach. I am so obsessed with these things. When I get a bigger flow of money, you best believe the market's gonna be crying, because I was having the time of my life going on eBay and what are those called? Bid wars. I was having the time of my life with the bid wars. It was such a rush. It was kind of amazing though. It really was. It was kind of incredible, because you never know. The market of them is kind of insane. Nobody knows what they're priced at, truly. Sometimes you'll find some that are like some of them $20, which to some people out there that might be like $20 for a bear. After that, whatever. Sorry. But true. I mean, some people would say that. And to me, $20 for this is priceless. His name is Snow Cone. I named him that. Okay? Leave me and my son alone. What is it? Don't ever talk to me or my son again. That's how I feel, okay? But some of them are like $80, $100, $150, truly. Some of them on there are that much. And it's funny because you almost think that there's kind of like a rhyme or reason to it, but then really there's not. You know what I mean? Like, some of them that I guess are a little bit more common are in the $20 range, but then some of them I'm like, that's really not that rare and it's going for $100. Is there something I'm missing? You know what I mean? Some of the ones I want, okay? I think his name is Checkster. I would probably rename him because Checkster's a weird name. But he's got a nose, he's blue. He's like a midnight, kind of a yummy blue though. It's like midnight but also yummy. And his nose is a balloon, and it's like a pink balloon that, or is it pink or is it? I think it's pink, and it goes like it inflates when you press his stomach. It's great. He's great. There's also one that has moon and stars in the nose, and they twinkle. This is my other one. Her name is Party Winkle. She has a gumball machine in there. She's great. Oh, they're great. They're my fave. And they've provided me so much comfort. Especially in my days when I've had really, really bad anxiety, because it's like, it gives you a sensory thing, right? You're pressing the stomach. It's visual. You're looking at the things go around. It's also sensory because it's like cozy and cuddly. Come on. It's all around a great thing. And they're not terribly huge, which is kind of the best. Like, they can just sit on your shelf. And they're perfect. So those have been my gatekeep. I've been kind of keeping them a secret because I don't want people to start flooding the markets and then I'll never find Checkster again. Because the thing is with the ones with the noses that expand is that sometimes they are broken. And so their noses don't really expand a whole lot. And I've seen some that their noses fully expand still, and I'm like, I want it. I also love the one with the dolphin that goes around. They're just so great. There's a lot of great ones. A lot of great ones. I just love them all. I would truly have all of them if I could, because I just, when I get obsessed with something, I get obsessed with something and I need it all. You know? But those have been my favorite. And so thank you for listening to this video. And I hope I inspired you in some way to tap back into your inner child. And these are just some of the things that have brought me light and me comfort, but maybe you'll start thinking about all the things that brought you comfort in childhood and seeing somebody else who is, I'm 26, okay? So somebody who is an adult tapping into their inner child, and somebody who's an adult who isn't afraid to play Webkinz and who isn't afraid to play Club Penguin. You know, maybe that ought to help you, you know? Maybe that will help you. Because we shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't be made to feel uncomfortable or like we're being childish, because we should all be childish still to some degree. Why not? Who says that we can't? As long as we're being kind to other people, like, why would that affect them? I don't know, but as long as we're not letting it affect other people negatively, I think it's pretty great to tap into your inner child. Those were my faves. These are all my faves that I've been harboring. And I hope you find your faves. And let me know what your faves are in the comments. What are things that you have done to tap into your inner child? Truly, I want to know. Because there are so many ways that we can do this. Even just getting up and letting your body be weird. I watched a TikTok a little while ago that was talking about, like, people keep saying to themselves, and I you know, I feel like I've asked myself this question too, of like, oh, why do I just feel so like pent up and like, oh, and it's like because we don't allow ourselves to be weird anymore. We don't allow ourselves to just move, even when we're alone. Sometimes it's like we'll do something that's natural to our bodies and we're like, what the heck? Why did I do that? That was so weird. And it's like, take that inner voice and literally throw it in the garbage, like for real. Because who's the one who told you that? Who's the one who made you think that way? And why does their voice matter? Why is their voice still ruminating in your head? You know? Throw it in the garbage. Anyway, have a good one, everybody. Be weird. Be weird. Let your body flow and just be a little weird. I don't know. Be a kid.